Hello and welcome to a new vlog. Welcome if you're new here. Hi, I'm Andrea. Welcome back if you're one of my lovely returning friends. It's great to have you all here. Welcome to an editing vlog. This is going to be the vlog where I try to finish the developmental edits of my 9th novel. Wish me luck. If not finish them, then at least almost finish them. I really want to get them get it as close to done as possible. There is a lot still left to do, but I am getting close to the end. That being said, it's Monday and I really don't feel very well today. I know why. It's normal, it's fine, everything's okay, but I just don't know that I am going to have much energy. But there is a slightly easy task that I'm trying to get taken care of today. So my mom is one of my beta readers and she has finished and has notes for me. I've already been on FaceTime with her for 30 minutes earlier and we've gone through and she's given me a lot of like line notes that she found. But now I need to call her back and go over the more like general big picture notes. I don't think she has a lot. It didn't sound like she did, but I want to just go through it, get it written down. Then I will have the notes from her and 2 of my other beta readers, and tomorrow I can start going over those in a little bit more detail. I've already been on 2 other calls this morning and I've nearly edited Wednesday's vlog. So it's 1 p.m. but I've been on at least 3 hours, no, 4 hours at least, a little over 4 hours, 5 hours including the half an hour with mom. So about 5 hours worth of video conferencing calls today, and I've spent over an hour doing some vlog editing. So I started at 7 a.m. this morning. The first call was with the UK, so it was very early and I'm tired. And I'm ready for a break. Like when I stop and think about it, that I've been essentially going since 7 a.m. and it's now 1 p.m. No wonder I'm tired. So I don't think I'm going to get much editing done. I think I'm literally going to like stop work for the day on everything as soon as I'm done talking to my mom. So I'm going to give her a call. I'm going to get these notes done and maybe do a little bit of work, but probably just crash for the rest of the afternoon. This vlog will just pick up tomorrow. So yeah, so basically this vlog is just going to be this whole week, Monday through Friday, of trying to get the edits done. I'm going to do as much as I can. I actually should put this in my calendar. I'm going to do as much as I can, a little bit each day, Monday through Friday, but I am going to put a huge block on Friday to edit the book. Just whatever doesn't get done Monday through Thursday, I will then do on Friday. So yeah, I'm gonna get everything set back up over here. I've been taking this last call on the couch because I cannot sit at this desk all day today. I'm in a bit of pain. We'll just say that. So, but for going through the manuscript and talking to mom, it is easier to be at the desk. So I'm going to do all of that and get everything ready. Let's see, mouse and keyboard. Is the keyboard turned on? No, it is now. So yeah, got everything set, everything ready. I'm gonna call mom and just try to blast through getting feedback from her and then go relax for the rest of the day and pick this back up tomorrow. Hello, it's Tuesday now. I've got tea in my Fox mug. It's normally a mug I use in autumn, but it just felt fitting for my cozy small town romance novel, so this is the mug I'm using today. It's been a good day. So it is 1:30. I'm getting kind of a later start on work, but I've been doing other stuff today. Didn't go hiking. I'm still not feeling very well physically. Yesterday was when it kind of started. Today it's not great. I'm hoping it'll start getting better tomorrow, and then hopefully by Thursday and Friday I'll be feeling a little bit better and can kind of finish out the week strong. So today I'm not putting pressure on myself. I'm gonna work for about an hour on book editing, see how far I can get, then try to do a little bit tomorrow, and then Thursday and Friday try to like put more time into it and like finish the week strong. So I didn't go for a hike this morning, just did some light movement and activity here at home. Then I chatted with Tamsin for a little bit. We were Marco Poloing using the app Marco Polo, and then she was watching live while I was recording, and I just said, if you can FaceTime us, FaceTime me, we can chat live for a few minutes, but I told her I didn't have a ton of time. So we only chatted for about 10 minutes today, but we're gonna have a proper FaceTime call tomorrow. The reason I couldn't talk to her for very long today was because I had another call scheduled, and yesterday, I think I said this earlier in the vlog in the last segment, but yesterday I had like over 4 hours of calls between two calls, well 3, because I was also talking to mom. So like I was just on one video conferencing platform or another for like over 4 hours, and then just had nothing left in the afternoon. So I knew I had a call today, and as tempting as it was to just chat with Tamsin because I knew she was free today, we don't do short calls. Like we don't. We will talk for 3 hours. And I had time to talk for 3 hours this morning with her, but then I would have gone straight into my next call and would have been on calls for 4 hours straight again. And I knew I need to get at least a solid hour of editing done today. But the call that I did have, the call that was scheduled, was with a new friend, Melanie Steele. I will leave her YouTube channel linked below, and I think she's Melanie Steele author on Instagram. That might also be her channel name, but I'll leave her YouTube channel and her Instagram linked down below. She is a fellow author, indie author in her 40s. She lives in England. She is all about the cozy life. She's writing a cozy fantasy. Like, she's just been checking boxes left and right for me. What's not to love about her content? Like, she's literally checking all the boxes. But I'm loving her content. I feel like there's a lot of you who watch me who would probably really like Melanie. There's a lot of overlap and similarities in our content. Like, she does cozy at home vlogs and takes you with her on her day. She's vlogging not just the writing process but other stuff. So yeah, if you're looking for another woman in her 40s to follow, another author to follow, another author in her 40s, if any of that sounds good. She typically does one vlog a week, but then also one like sit down chatty topic related video, like related to author, like being an author, being a writer, that sort of thing. So like I said, I'll leave her channel below. If some of that sounds like someone that you would genuinely be interested in watching, please go check her out. So yeah, it was really great to talk to her. We talked for over an hour about YouTube, about writing, about what we're both working on, and how we feel about YouTube. I was sharing what little advice I could. I don't really think of myself as a YouTube expert. I'm still learning. 9 years later, 5,000 plus subscribers later, I'm still learning how to grow on this platform. It changes every year, like strategies and things to do. More than happy to share whatever I could share. And Melanie, I hope it was helpful. But yeah, it was great chatting with her. We had a really good time. I feel like I made a friend, which is really nice. So yeah, that was fun. I think we're gonna do it again soon-ish sometime, so that will be great. So that's been my morning, but now it's the afternoon. I stopped after that call to take a nice relaxing lunch break, and now I need to get to editing. I need to not procrastinate vlog, because that's totally what I'm doing. I need to get editing. The sooner I get an hour or so of editing done, the sooner I can then go sit and relax. So I have a sticky note list of what I want to do, like what my main tasks for today are, what I want to accomplish as far as editing is concerned today. So I'm going to work through those, see how far I get in an hour. I'm going to work until I finish that list, or for a full hour, whichever takes longer, I think. If that list takes longer than an hour, then I'll work for longer than an hour. If I finish that in less than an hour, I'll keep working until the hour is up and I'll just move on to other stuff. So that's my plan. Now I need to shut up and get on with it. It's 3:33. I'm done. I'm done. Not with editing. That would be nice. I'm done with the day. I'm done with my notes. I'm done with the tasks that I had set myself for today. So I have finished the prologue, I think, for draft 4. I can still make some changes in the next, I'm going to do a line edit and then a copy edit. So I can still make slightly significant tweaks in the line edit. Like, I wouldn't rewrite a whole chapter, but I could add a paragraph or two if I needed to. So, but I think it's good. I think it's done for now. I also then made some adjustments to some of the other chapters that reference what happens in the prologue. So those are all stronger now, I think. I am going to do one more quick read. I'll discuss this in more detail when we get to it, but I think I'm going to do a line edit, then a quick read through, then a copy edit. So I will kind of sit down and read through this in like a couple of days as if I'm just reading a book, just to like double check how everything has come together. And then I'll probably do that again before the proofread. So I'm going to do at least one, if not two more quick reads, just to check the pacing and development, and are the narrative threads like woven tightly throughout and things like that. There's still work to be done, and there's still chances for me to check things and fix things, but I think the prologue for now is done. And then I renamed a character. In this book, she's just a minor character. She doesn't even speak on the page. She's referenced a few times, but I think she might be a main character for a future book. And in my mind, other authors can let me know if you feel this way too, but in my mind, there's a difference between side character or background character names and main character names. So she had a name that was perfectly lovely as a side character or a background character, but it wasn't a main character name. And so I renamed her. So you can see if you can figure that out when you're reading this one, if there's a background character who just seems like she might have a main character name. Of course, that's totally subjective, right? What I think of as a main character name, other people might be like, oh, I don't like that name. I like the name that I gave her. So it'll be fun when I get to her book. You know, sometimes plans change and characters that I think might become main characters, I end up just never quite doing that. But like there's 3 characters in Across the Pond in the first book, A Brave Start. Clara, Maggie, and Alexandra, who are friends of Eleanor's, along with Jack. They're her friends at the writing school. And I think at the time I thought maybe I would do like them have their own books, and they still might one day. They could be like books 10, 11, and 12 for all I know. So like when I named them, I gave them names that I really like, that I would want as main character names if they ever became the main character of a book. But then I still so far haven't done that. I haven't done anything with them. Maybe they'd get their own like spin-off series or something, like Across the Pond series adjacent, like maybe, or maybe they just become part of the main series. So yeah, I got that one character in this book renamed, so that's taken care of. That was a really easy note that I knew I could just knock out today and then be done with it, so that's done. So looking at the rest of the notes, it does feel doable for the next 3 days, even if I don't get a whole lot of work done on it tomorrow. So I'm going to the house tomorrow. I'll take you all with me because we're vlogging every day this week. But I know I'm going to be talking to Tamsin tomorrow, and I know I'm going to be snuggling with Gus and Kiki tomorrow. Kiki doesn't like to be next to you, like with Lexi. And I love both of these dogs. Like, I love Lexi. I still miss Lexi so much. Lexi is just the sweetest little pup. And Kiki is adorable and super sweet as well. So like, it's not a comparison of one is better than the other. But like, Lexi was always happy to be next to you. And so Lexi would sit next to me, like glued to my hip. And I could have my laptop while I was working. Kiki wants to be on top of you. She wants to like if I could get one of those baby swaddle things, like sling things, and like put Kiki in that, she would love that. She just wants to be, she wants you to be laying down on the couch with her laying on your chest. She is not happy when I have my laptop in my lap. So I don't really get a whole lot of work done when I'm over at the house these days, since we got Kiki, because she's just too cute and I can't say no to her. So if she wants to snuggle, I want to snuggle. So I feel like I spend half the day just laying on the couch with Kiki on top of me when I go over to the house these days. So I don't know how much work I'm gonna get done tomorrow, but I'm gonna try to do some in between watching House Hunters International and stuff like that with Mom. But if I don't get much editing done tomorrow, I think what's left, I will just have to do 2 longer days on Thursday and Friday, but I'm still on track to finish by Friday, everything crossed. But I've got a flashing battery light, so I'm gonna go sit down and relax and finish editing tomorrow's vlog, and I will pick this back up tomorrow over at the house. These dogs are so cute. I love every chance I get to hang out with Kiki and Gus. Kiki was not too thrilled at the idea of me working, so she did kind of demand snuggles and access to my lap for most of the day, but I'm not complaining at all. But I did get some editing work done later in the afternoon. Gus did come and join me for a little bit as well. I didn't get a ton done, but I felt pretty good about what I did manage to get done. So I don't normally get a lot of work done at the house. I don't count on getting much work done at the house, but I did manage to get some, so that was great. And then we had pizza for dinner, which was delicious. Then on Thursday, I went for a hike in the morning. The clouds were spectacular. It's just so exciting when there's clouds. There usually aren't in the summer. It's way too hot, way too dry, but we are coming into potential monsoon season, so fingers crossed, maybe we'll get some more clouds. Probably no rain. Then it was home and I got some editing done. I had appointments and errands to run in the afternoon, so I was really trying to get as much editing done in the morning and early afternoon before I had to leave at about 2 o'clock. So I did manage to get a fair amount done. This was kind of my second to last big day of being able to get a lot of editing done, so I was really trying to do as much as possible. I feel like most of developmental editing, though, is a lot of staring at the computer and thinking. It's only about 20% actual, like, typing and changing things. Then I had my appointment. I went to my esthetician studio and I got my brows and lashes done, which is, I just feel so refreshed. It just makes me so happy when I can get that done. So I had a nice relaxing time there. And then it was off to World Market, my first errand, to get the essentials, chocolate, baked beans, and lemonade from England. Then I went to Trader Joe's, where again, stocking up on the essentials, I needed some English crumpets, and I also wanted to get some fresh flowers, so I got some peonies, and I got some hydrangeas. Then it was home, and it was getting so late. It was almost 5 o'clock, but I just wanted to do one more 15-minute sprint of editing. I had made some good progress earlier before leaving for my appointments, so I wanted to try to just see if I could knock out a few more of my notes, and I did manage to get a lot done in just 15 minutes, so I was really happy with that. And yeah, had a great Thursday. Basically made a lot of progress even though I didn't have as much time as I had hoped for, and then enjoyed a nice relaxing evening. Okay, it is now Friday. I can't believe it's Friday. This week has both dragged and flown. I don't know how that's possible. I really don't. But yes, it is Friday. I didn't talk to you all yesterday. I'll have done a voiceover. And I know I vlogged, so you'll have seen what I did yesterday. Yesterday was good. So this morning, I didn't vlog it, but I did go to Whole Foods. So I've done my food shop for this coming week. I'm all set for the weekend. I did have an accident yesterday at World Market. I don't know if you'll be able to see it. I do think it's getting a tiny bit better. I don't know if you'll be able to see it in this lighting, but there is a little bit of a bruise right on the edge of the nail there. Like, first of all, moment of appreciation for my nails, please. Because this is the best my nails have looked in like over a year. These are my natural nails. I mean, not the glitter. The glitter is a nail polish. But like, as if I need to clarify that. Obviously the glitter is nail polish. Yeah, I've got a coat of All Amped Up by Nails Inc. I got this at Anthropologie. I love this holographic nail polish. So like literally right now on my nails is just a nail strengthener, which is by Manicurist. I'll talk more about that in another few weeks. Right now I think my nails are looking this good because of that, but it hasn't been that long, so I'm gonna wait a little bit longer before I like give a full review on the Manicurist products I'm using. But it's literally just nail strengthener, a coat of the nail strengthener, a coat of this, and a coat of the Essie Gel Effects top coat. Right, this is the Gel Effects Gel Couture top coat, and that's my nails, my actual nails underneath. And so yesterday I was looking at my nails, like running my errands and stuff, thinking my nails look so good right now. This is the best they've looked in forever. And what do? While reaching into the back of the cart, I shoved my hand into my cart too quickly and I just stabbed myself really hard with like like it's too complicated to explain, because you would think, how does that even work? I don't know, but it happened, and I've bruised underneath my nail bed. Cue the like late night panic. Like, I was so fine all day thinking, oh, I mean, that sucks. I was more worried about the aesthetics of it. Like, that really stinks. Your nails are looking so good and now you've had to go and bruise it. But like thinking it's not a big deal. And then right before bed, I thought, you know, maybe I should like just Google, like search online for like what to do when you bruise your nail bed, thinking that like, this is so minor, it's not going to be a big deal. And then of course the first thing I find is like articles talking about like all the horrible things that can happen when you bruise your nail. So then I had to backtrack on the search and Google small bruise on nail bed. That gave me much better results, but I still had a slightly panicked phone call to Dr. Mom, at about 9 p.m. when I was supposed to be going to bed to say, like, I feel like I shouldn't be panicking about this, but I'm starting to panic about this because my brain likes to torture me with what ifs. And my mom was also on the phone with my sister at the time, so like she had me answered on her iPad, I think, and Lisa was on her phone, and so Lisa got to hear me spiraling, and both of them were like, you're fine, you're fine. So today it's looking the same. It's not gotten worse. So now I'm back to just being annoyed at the aesthetics of having this little bit of, it's honestly even, I think, looking a little bit better. No, it is looking quite a bit better this afternoon. So I don't know. I'm hoping it'll just heal. My mom had a bruise once that turned black and then it just slowly had to grow out as her nail grew out. I'm hoping that won't happen. It honestly doesn't look as bad this afternoon as it did first thing this morning. So yeah, that's been my excitement, which on the scale of things, not too bad. It could be so much worse. But that is neither here nor there. I have rambled on for 9 minutes. I'm gonna have to edit that down because no one cares. Some of you probably care, but like, this is not why you clicked on the video. You clicked on the video to see, can I finish all of my developmental edits this week? It is now Friday. We're down to the last day. We are down to the wire. I want to finish this so badly today. So it is, time check, 11:13. So it's 11:15. I'm gonna set my timer for 1 hour, so that will take me a little bit past noon, and then I'm gonna stop and take a lunch break. I've been doing other stuff this morning to just try to clear out my task list, clear out everything that was left that's non-book related that I wanted to get done. I posted a reel, I did some life admin stuff, I went to Whole Foods, things like that. So now I can just focus on book stuff for the rest of the day. So I'm gonna lock in for a morning session of 1 hour. I will then stop and take about an hour-ish lunch break, and then we'll lock in for the whole afternoon. I'm gonna make sure I'm back here by 1:30 at the latest, and try not to work past 5 o'clock, but I just want to lock in and get this done. I am so close. When I'm looking at the notes of what's left, I finished out all the feedback from 2 of my beta readers. I've like partially addressed the feedback from another of my beta readers, and then I've got 2 significant-ish notes of my own. So I feel like between my notes and the remaining notes from that third beta reader, it's kind of 3 significant notes, and some of them do have overlap, like addressing some of the notes from one of my beta readers will also start to address some of my remaining notes and vice versa. So one of the things I did yesterday was I made a list of all the chapters that have scenes with the main couple, the like romantic scenes, or scenes that could start building that romantic tension, because that was one of the things. One of my notes was that I feel like there needed to be more romance, and like there needed to be more of the relationship building and then the relationship progressing and all of that sort of stuff. And then one of the beta readers felt like there just needed to be more romantic tension and like physical chemistry and that kind of tension. So I'm just trying to like build that up and like make sure that I'm looking at each scene where they interact, and that there are more of those like brushes of the hand, or standing a little bit too close, or like they both pause and like neither one of them is exactly sure what the other person is thinking, and maybe they've misread the situation and maybe not. And I just want more of those sort of moments. I want it to feel like they are both interested even when neither of them knows yet that they're interested, kind of a thing. So is that a spoiler? So yeah, I'm just wanting to like add more progression of the romance and the romantic relationship and more romantic tension between the 2 main characters. So I've got a list of all the chapters where they have a scene together, and I'm now working through that list and just adding little tweaks to the scenes here and there. So I have managed to do that for 3 chapters so far, but I've got a bunch more chapters left to go, and so that's what I'm going to be working on today. So I'm going to see how far I can get in the next hour. I got through quite a bit yesterday in just 15 minutes after I'd gotten back from all of my errands. So I'd been working on other things in the morning and then had made that list before leaving for my appointment. So when I got back, I only had 15 minutes. I got back later than I wanted, but I wanted one more like this 15-minute session and blasted through a lot more than I thought. I was hoping to just get 1 chapter done, and I got 3. So we'll see how far I can get in 1 hour, take lunch, and then get back to work. And I'm probably not going to talk to you again because I talk too much and I don't want to distract myself. So the next time I talk to you, unless there's a voiceover, the next time I talk to you, fingers crossed, I got to be careful with how I cross this finger. I don't want to press on my bruise. Fingers crossed, the next time I talk to you, developmental editing should be done. Fingers crossed. This day just went really well, and I really feel like I needed that. I'd been putting so much pressure on myself all week, but even last week and the week before, just knowing that I had kind of set this day in my head as I wanted to be done by the end of June, which really meant I'd wanted to be done by Friday, June 27th. Just the whole month I knew end of June, end of June, end of June. And so by this week that this vlog is covering, all week long, I knew by Friday, by Friday, by Friday, you need to finish by Friday. Did I really need to finish by Friday? No. If developmental edits had extended into the first week of July, I would have dealt with that. It would have been okay. The book's gonna get done eventually, and the book will come out eventually, but I'm really, really trying with this project to not let it get continuously delayed, especially if the delays are coming from my own mental blocks or fears or procrastination, which procrastination is usually based in fear somehow, some way. So I didn't want this book to be delayed unless there was a valid reason. If I'd gotten sick this summer, which knock on wood, because that could still happen. You know, if I'd gotten sick, if I'd had an opportunity to travel somewhere or something, then there are factors that could have delayed this book. And in some cases, I would have just accepted that's what happened. But so far, I've managed to stay on track. And so during the week that this vlog covers, I just really wanted to stay on track, to stay on target, keep making progress every day, even if it was small progress, like it felt on Wednesday when I went over to my parents' house. I just really wanted to keep chipping away at it day by day. Oh, in this moment, I was so in love with the scene I was working on. Molly and Andrew, you guys are going to love them. I really think you are. I was loving them and having so much fun writing that scene. So yeah, it was a good day. It felt good the whole time I was working. I didn't have to go anywhere on this day. I'd already run all my errands. I'd already had all my appointments. I'd already been to the house. I'd done everything I needed to do. So on this day, I just needed to be butt in chair, sitting at my desk, working. I did break out the bar of writer's block chocolate. I talk about that a little bit more in a minute. But yeah, it went really well. And as you'll see in a moment, I felt really good. I'm really happy with where this book is ending up. We're not at the end of the process. There's still a lot of work left to do, but I feel really good about the work that's left, and progress has been made. Big progress has been made, and we're entering the final stage now, and that's really, really exciting. Okay, I think I'm calling it. Draft 4 is done, and thus concludes the developmental edits on Independent Hearts Book 4. I'm scrolling through my revision notes. Like, have I missed something? There's 2 notes that I haven't crossed off, but I've crossed off everything else. And the 2 notes that I haven't crossed off are things that I think I've done. I think I've taken care of them, but I think I'm gonna write them down on, like, in my project notebook for when I do when I start line editing and copy editing next week. That is going to be a separate vlog. I will talk all about that. I've already started outlining my notes for that vlog. I also need to spend some time this weekend, you know, doing some light reading. I need to start reading through these this weekend. I'm not gonna have it finished by Monday, which is when I think I might start. Monday is the 30th. I'd said I wanted to start line editing, copy editing, that whole phase. I wanted to start by July 1st. So I had hoped to finish developmental edits a little early, like finish them like on Wednesday or Thursday. It's like 3:30 on Friday, so it's taken pretty much the whole day. So I might take Monday off and give myself a 3-day weekend. So I might spend part of Monday starting to read through these books, but as I will discuss in more detail, I'm actually splitting up the copy editing phase. Basically, it's going to be the final editing phase. All the final edits, the line editing, the copy editing, the formatting, the proofreading, all of that stuff is going to be the final phase, and that will start next week. So I could read these while I do the line editing and then have them read by the time I get to copy editing. So we shall see. But yeah, I will probably write down these last couple notes in my notebook and just have like a page in here. I've already kind of started that, a page in here of like my cheat sheet for line editing, things I want to pay attention to. So like I've already started it, goals for line editing. I've said add in more summer. I just want to make sure that it feels like summer and that I'm referencing summer throughout the book, and I feel like I'm doing that, but it's just one of those things I want to be aware of. So I think I'm going to have a list of like 5 or 6 things that as I'm reading through it, I am aware of those things. So I think this last couple notes in my revision notes can go on that list. Otherwise, I think it's done. Like, it's definitely gotten to the point, and this is why I just feel like there's like, again, it's only 3:30. I could keep editing for another hour and a half and be done at 5, but it has gotten to the point where as I'm going through things, I'm just feeling like, oh, but I like how this is written, or I like this scene as it is, or I'm okay with this. And I find like I don't know what to change. I don't know what to add. I don't know what to subtract. All of that stuff. So that's my sign. Developmental editing is done. We're done. I'm done. So final tally for the 4th draft. In case you were wondering, our final draft tally. This manuscript has grown significantly. We are now up to 99,547 words. So I will have a goal, and of that, I wrote 1,172 words just today. So I was still adding quite a bit of words, and I do think that the words I added today did make things stronger. I really love one of the like additions I made to one of the scenes. It's just so cute. I love it. So yeah, but we are at 99.5 thousand words total. So it's gotten a little long, a little longer than I would like. I think I have a goal. I would like the book, like everything, final word count, including the copyright page, the dedication, the author's note, the acknowledgements, all the like marketing blurbs for the other books that I put at the end of each book, including all of that. I'd like to still keep the whole book under 100,000. So I probably need to cut at least 2,000 words from this in the line and copy edit. So when I go through this next phase, the goal is going to be to just make sure that everything is as tight as possible. I know there's a lot of filler words. I know there's a lot of redundancies. As I've been adding stuff, I've not been like paying the most attention to scenes that are coming before and after. I've just been like focusing on adding what needs to be added. So I'm fairly positive that I will be able to trim it back down, because there's also a lot of things, there's a lot of like little quirks that I have that I know about. I tend to use the words so and well as like linguistic speech pattern type things. So in dialogue, I just did it right there, and I'll do that in the writing. So this or that, or well, how do you feel about this? I'll use those kind of like filler words or like lengthening words. I don't know what exactly I don't know exactly what the term is for how they're functioning, but they're not necessary. They're just part of our natural speech pattern, or at least for some people, we use these words. I know I do. At the start of a sentence, I don't write, like I will say the word I edit most of them out in the vlogs. I use the word all the time. Also and. I will use and as a filler word to like help me bridge the gap between thoughts. I'll think about this and then I'll think about that, and I'll say this and then I'll say that. I cut those out as well most of the time, or I try to. So there's certain things like ums that you know not to write that are part of our natural speech patterns, but words like well, so, just is another one that I use a lot, and then I try to go through and like cut it out. If we could just do this, the sentence works out fine to say we could do this. I will use just as another kind of like filler or lengthening or just it's not even a clarification word. I don't know the name. Maybe there isn't a name. There probably is a name. I just didn't study linguistics long enough to learn it. But yeah, I know there's going to be a lot of little things like that I can just cut. Was is another word that can usually get cut. She was doing this. You could just say she did this. So there's little things where as I'm writing, I just write how it first comes to my brain. But when I go through with the kind of line editor and copy editor hat on, I'm more aware that like I could make this tighter, I could make this smoother, I could just make this flow just that little bit better. So that will be the focus of the next phase. And I think I can easily cut about 2,000 words across the whole manuscript. Like that's really only cutting about 2% of the words, so that's pretty easy. I'm not that concerned. If I could cut 3,000, that would be even better. 4,000 would probably be pushing it. I don't feel like there's any whole scenes that I can cut. I'm not opposed to doing that because I can just put it up on Patreon. I did cut a scene at the end of the third draft. I cut a scene from the epilogue because the epilogue was way too long. So Patreon subscribers, you will be seeing that after this book comes out. So I wouldn't be afraid to cut a whole scene. I just don't think there is a whole scene that needs to be cut. But I do think there are some scenes where I can trim them down. I can cut out a couple little bits of dialogue and just cut out some description and just make it a little bit shorter so that it flows better and feels tighter and better paced. So I'm not that worried about cutting at least a couple thousand words. If I can cut 3,000 or 4,000, that would be, if I could cut 3,000 or 4,000 off of this next draft, that would be amazing. So we'll see. I've just been drinking tea in my squirrel mug, and I've finally cracked into the bar of Writer's Block chocolate that I got at the Bodleian. It's still good. It says it was best by or best before last month or no, April. It still tasted fine, to be honest, and it still looked fine, so I'm enjoying it. I was rationing this and holding on to this until I needed it, and you know what? today I felt like I needed it. So I still have most of the bars, so this will help get me through copy editing. I'd wanted to be done by the end of this month. I wanted to be able to start copy editing by July 1st. I have met that deadline. So far, it's still looking like, you know, assuming that everything goes well in July, we are still at this point, knock on all the wood and IKEA particle board and everything, we're still on track that I could be uploading all of this by on or around August 1st, which is the next big deadline after starting copy editing, starting the final edit phase on July 1st. Now, line editing, copy editing, formatting, proofreading, and finishing up the covers, both the ebook cover and the paperback cover, that's a lot for one little month. That's a lot for 1 month. Granted, I do believe that July has 31 days in it, not just 30. That one day makes all the difference. So it's going to be ambitious, but August 1st for upload day is my stretch goal. August 20th, like the day before the semester starts, is probably the more realistic goal. I just would really prefer to be uploading it by the 1st and launching it by around the 19th or 20th. So, we'll see. I really wanted it to come out in August because it feels like a late summer book to me. And I just feel like August is kind of late summer for most places. But I don't know. I could blast through these next few stages. I'm definitely going to be trying to be doing, like, for both line editing and copy editing, I'm going to be trying to do like 3 or 4 chapters a day, which is a lot, especially for copy editing. I think I can get through line editing pretty quickly. Copy editing and proofreading, I kind of have to go slowly so that I don't screw anything up. But we'll talk more about that in the next vlog. And we'll just see. We'll see how things go. This could be a late summer book that you read in September. I'm doing my best. I'm doing my best, and that's all I can do. Anyone who's like really into seasonal reading, you can just then wait until next summer if you absolutely have to. But I hope you won't want to do that. But yeah, I can't believe. I really can't believe it's done. But I do feel like it's done. Like, I feel like it is ready to move on to that next stage. Part of me is really tempted to start the next stage of edits on Monday, on the 30th. But I do think it would be smarter for me to give myself a long weekend. And then next Friday is July 4th. Am I going to do any work on July 4th? Probably not. But I will try to do like a really like intense 3 days of line editing on the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. And then we'll just take it from there. But yeah, it's done. It's ready. It is ready to move on to the next stage. And that's both exciting and terrifying. I feel like I've been saying that as I've like reached each new stage. Each new stage of this book is exciting and terrifying, but I'm ready. I want this to be done so badly. Like, I just so badly want this to be done so that you all can read it as soon as possible. That's gonna wrap this vlog up. I will literally just sit here and continue rambling. So I'm gonna stop. But I hope you've enjoyed this vlog. If you did, give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you're not subscribed. I'd really appreciate both of those things. Now, this book is nearing the end of all the editing, but there are other books I am working on. So there is lots more writing and editing and other fun bookish content for you to watch. So subscribe if you're not subscribed. In the description box, you will find links to all of my stuff, my newsletter, which I really appreciate when you sign up for that. My Patreon, would love to have you join me over there. All of my books, if you are looking for something to read this weekend. I think this video goes up on a Wednesday, so if you are looking for some weekend reading, there are 8 books that I have already published for you to choose from. So those are all linked down below. In the comment section below the description box, leave me some like check mark and pencil and editing related emojis to let me know which one of you lovely people have made it all the way to the end of this vlog. Thank you for hanging out with me this week. It's been so good to just be able to chat to you most days and vlog each day and share the process of finishing up the fourth draft. On Monday, this felt like it was possible this was all gonna go wrong by Friday, but we've done it. We've done it. And I'm not using the royal we there. We have done it. You all have helped. Being able to pick up the camera and talk to you all on a week like this, it keeps me sane. So thank you. You helped. Thank you for your very important service in helping to edit these books. In the comments, our question of the vlog, I have had an ambiance video of just like a picnic by a river with trees. What is your favorite like dream summer activity? If you could just transport yourself somewhere for your favorite summer activity where the weather is perfect, exactly how you want it, and all the conditions are exactly how you want it, what would be your like ideal way to just spend a summer afternoon? For me, I do think a picnic somewhere where the sun is out but it's cool and there's a bit of a breeze and there's big giant puffy clouds just kind of rolling through the sky. Like, yeah, a picnic with friends or a picnic on my own reading a book. Just, that would be amazing. So what's your like just ideal way to spend a summer afternoon? I'd love to know. And yeah, I will chat with you all down in the comments to talk about that. And I'm gonna go now. I'm gonna go start my weekend and just relax. And I will see you all very soon in the next vlog. Thank you very much for watching this one. Bye!